the Bitcoin movement.
Yeah.
Up above $1,000.
Yeah.
But what I want to know is Bitcoin the key winner in cryptocurrencies? This is a competitive field.
It's very important. So far, Bitcoin is pretty much the whole action. 95% of what happens on the blockchain is Bitcoin transactions. Very important that Bitcoin is very much the thing that people know and understand. But there are other things that are coming. There are dozens of cryptocurrencies that have launched. They're called alt currencies. Only a couple of them have gained any real traction. One that viewers might know is called Ethereum, which is run out of a place, sort of a combination of guys in New York and elsewhere. And that's already trained on one of the most reputable coin exchanges called Coinbase, which, by the way, I use. I should disclose. I'm not a shareholder, but I use it. There's another one called Ripple. Ripple is a cryptocurrency that is being put together in conjunction with a whole bunch of banks that are looking to do some sort of more oversighted, understood collateral work together collaboratively to manage a currency called Ripple. But there are others. There's a one called Monero, which is fully anonymous. There's one called Zcash, which is fully anonymous. And the frontier is very powerful. Why is Bitcoin so good? Because it's very simple to understand. It looks like the dollar, it looks like the euro, it's a piece of script, it's tradable, but also that's its chief limitation. It can't do a lot more things. The promise of the blockchain, the excitement of the blockchain is partly due to the fact that a token or a coin, depending on how you look at it, in the blockchain can not only have a currency value that's tradable, but also can have preset instructions. So it can be what's called a smart contract. You can preload the token with a set of rules to vote your shares a certain way, to get married if we want to get married, to get divorced if we want to get divorced, under certain conditions with if-then statements preloaded so that everyone knows.
It's a derivative, basically.
It's a derivative with rules that are preset, and you're kind of committed to the rules to behave a certain way under certain circumstances, and everyone in the contract can know that the contract is self-executing and self-realizing. So there's a lot of exciting new stuff happening on the frontier with Monero, with Ethereum, not just Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is still the one that really has the awareness of the public.
It's interesting because actually we're just talking about movements in Twitter in China. China seems to be a real driver of trading in Bitcoin.
Yes.
Is it What has fostered this sudden resurgence to 3-year highs? Is it geopolitical risk? Is it the fact that Bitcoin's being used in more widely nowadays? Is it the fact that currencies are open to perhaps deflation?
You know, I think that is a very good question. I think that if I had to sit here today to answer the question, you put me on the spot, I would say probably it's mostly a speculative to turn in fortunes. It could be some geopolitical risk that people are buying Bitcoin instead of gold, let's say. But I think it's sort of, it was in favor for a while, super hot, got too hot, people took some money off the table. Now it's coming back in favor. The Chinese in Bitcoin are a big part of the puzzle. The Chinese are mining so much Bitcoin and have so much control of the Bitcoin blockchain that there's a risk in the community. There's a sense in the community that, in fact, China could actually take control of the Bitcoin currency. And that worries some of the people on the frontier. There's also a sense that Bitcoin is not really fully, truly anonymous.
Yeah.
And if you're a rebellious believer in the revolution of cryptocurrency, which you don't have to be, Caroline, is that some of the more truly anonymous currencies like Monero and Zcash are the wave of the future. And you've seen now that about a 20x, I think, spike in the value of a new one called Monero just in the last few weeks, partly due to the fact that it's coming online in some of the more sort of mainstream alt currency exchanges, but it's still very early days indeed.
And so, rebellious or not, if I'm a believer that cryptocurrencies will eventually come, when is 2017 finally the year where we see it become more adopted, more widely? Will it become something that everyone will know within their household?
What's so amazing, the real missing part of the link so far is, when will cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin, get wide, actual, practical adoption?
Yeah.
And it's still missing. Like even in Palo Alto, where I live, or San Francisco, where I hang out with you today on this rainy day.
I haven't seen many stores taking it yet.
They used to, and they don't. And that's one of the most interesting things. You're exactly right. You used to be able to buy your coffee in Bitcoin. Why would you buy your coffee in Bitcoin? Nobody knows. But you used to be able to buy your coffee in Bitcoin because it's fun. It feels good. And now you can. Now you can't. And so there's been a rollback of some of the applications. Now I do think they're coming. As the banks in particular, as the clearing houses in particular, start to bless the blockchain and have investment funds that are targeted for the blockchain and have all these activities for the blockchain and for Bitcoin, you are going to see more and more adoption. But still, as of yet, does it change my day-to-day life? No. Could you really spend your life through Bitcoin? Well, no. But I did find one founder this year. I met a lot of founders in 2016, and one founder I met doesn't have a bank account, doesn't use checks, doesn't have a credit card. The only way to pay him or get paid by him or do anything is through cryptocurrency, which is kind of weird. That's the first. N is 1, N equals 1. But I did meet one founder whose entire financial life is cryptocurrency.